But
But
it's
thank you
okay.
so
I
much,
I got everything I need.
Lena. What a wonderful soul. Deep divers. Shout out to you. Too much Pisces energy. Instagram can't take it. Deep dive.
What's good, party people? This is your friendly neighbor, Chad the Maverick, back with another video. And today, I'm gonna talk to y'all for a second before I start getting into the actual, the depths of the information. So, yesterday, and I think ending right now as I do this video, was the Pisces full moon. The full moon, the moon itself was in Virgo. The sun just slid into Pisces. I know it's on a collective level. People are starting to feel like they don't know where they are in a sense because we've left we left outer space in a way, and now we're going into what made outer space. We're going into the out. Like everyone's in their imagination. People have been sleeping more. People have been dreaming more. It's something that I pointed out when we did the Neptune video like a week or two ago. It's been a very interesting time. A lot of untruths and lies are starting to have come to the surface, even in the media. Unfortunately, with some people that I know as well, just certain dramas have been coming to light, and now the truth is actually being revealed. So on one hand, that's a good thing. But on the other hand, it kind of brings up this certain sense of it's understanding that we all need healing at this point. We all need to collectively heal our minds and give our subconsciouses time. We need to give our subconsciouses time during this season, because all of our dreams are formulating, as in a sense, for us. But at the moment, time is what's kind of needed to harness this with the aspects that it's making to Saturn and Pluto and Venus. So it's time, but making sure that you have your higher heart and your heart center together. So when it's time for all these dreams to bring down to reality, which is the full moon just set off, then everyone's going to be able to do so. But yeah, that was my quick message though. I don't always do messages. If you want more messages, throw that shit down in the comment. I don't know what I just said. But anyway, this video is actually going to be about the moon phases. This is sponsored by the moon. No, I'm playing. But this is going to be about the moon phases, and let me open up my handy dandy notebook. Let's get started. So, as you just seen, we just had this full moon. It was a super moon. Supermoon's brighter, more impact, way more power than a regular full moon, especially because it's in Pisces season, which is the axis of dreams and imagination and concrete reality and routine. So with this axis, it's like you might have done, for example, I cleaned. Like I started cleaning my room, and I'm a Sag, so like if I start cleaning my room, I know everyone's being affected by it. You know what I mean? So anyway, so let me break down how each moon kind of works, right? So if you see my astrology 101, you now understand what sign is in what element. But if the moon itself is in a fire moon, that means that it's a time to instigate action. This is a time for you to throw in those job applications. This is a time for you to hit up that significant other or your potential crush. Like, it's the time to do that. It's the instigating action. It's the I'm going to start working out. That's the type of moon a fire moon is. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, right? When it comes to the air moons is about communication and dealing with the public in a public arena. So with that being said, this is a good time to do any speeches. If you have like a public speaking class, if you have to plan out some type of speech class or anything of that nature, definitely try to get it under an air moon, or at least prepare under an air moon. It just kind of helps give you guidance naturally towards whatever else is coming. Next thing I want to talk about is the earth signs. So the earth sign moons are for planting seeds and also for starting to manifest. I'm thinking the Seven of Pentacles in a tarot. How homie's kind of there. He has his seeds all planted, but he's just kind of standing there looking at it and waiting. But in a sense, it's because he's already put down the things that he wants to manifest into reality, but now he just has to wait. But because of this, if you do things on an earth moon, depending on how quick or how heavy the order was, if it was a lighter order, it may actually come to you by that next earth moon. So keep that in mind. Also, the last element is the water sign elements. When it comes to the water sign element moons, it's a great time for growing things. So kind of growing on whatever else you may have been doing within that time frame, or it's also a time to relate to other people. So this is a time where you can speak to others and then really it's a good time to get to know people. Underwater moons, get to know people, except for, let me remind you for two things. On the earth moons, when it's Virgo, the Virgo moon is a barren moon, so to speak. So you don't necessarily plant things there. However, you can plan out all the other times for the rest of the moons. And then for the water moon, Scorpio moon isn't a good moon to communicate. It's a better moon for you to have that communication and growth within yourself. So it's not a great time. That's when you get the most intact with your personal divinity and your personal power. So keep that in mind just before I finish everything else. But yeah. So now let me go into the actual moon phases. And the moon phases are something that I've always kind of known, but I wanted to really break down. I wanted to break it down in a way where, like I said, it's tangible. So you can understand what the moon's doing if you look at like your moon chart, or not your moon chart. Oh, before I even get into that, your moon. So your moon is who you are. So check out your moon sign in your. Oh, how did I miss this? Check out your moon sign in your natal chart, because you need to understand your moon sign. Because when you understand your moon sign, you'll understand yourself. Now, your sun sign is how you personally come off, but your moon sign is who you are. Who you are. When people speak to you and you have an emotional reaction, who are you? When people speak to you and you feel some type of way before you respond, who are you? When you're by yourself, when you're out with friends, when you're anything, anytime, any place, what is your moon? Also check out and figure out what type of moon you were born under, because this is the energy that you hold on a day-to-day basis. This is who you are and the energy that you hold. So that's something to check out when it comes to the moon, because the moon is the luminary. That the two luminaries is your personality and then who you really are. What's your emotional state of being, and what do you feel? Because feeling is the reason why we're even on this 3D reality to begin with. If you don't feel anything, there's no point. like there's no point. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this tea is bomb. Green tea, drink it. Sponsored. But anyway, so let me start off with the first moon phase. So the first moon phase is the new moon. The new moon, aka the black moon. The reason why it's called the black moon is because it's the moon that you can't see in the sky. So you know when the moon's gone in the sky, but you know, like there's just you can't see it at all. So that means that the sun and the moon are in the same exact zodiac sign, and they are conjuncting. which means that that energy is the only energy that's being pushed out of the sun and the moon at that time. With that being said, it's the doorway between two worlds when the new moon starts, right? It's like pretty much the gateway for whatever sign that is open. So it's a great time for you to like really bring in new beginnings and release the old. It's a new cycle where you release everything from the past moon phases and you can literally start new on anything that you want. It's about initiation. It's about tying up any loose ends you might have had prior. It's also about resolving old issues and bringing them to the forefront so you can take care of them. You can start new relationships during this time. So it's a good time to like, if you have like a friend or a relationship that you want to start during this time, it's a great time to do so because, you know, that's going to be the energy that kind of sponsors that relationship for a little bit at least, like the initial stages. So very important. Also a good time for you to plant a garden or to plant any form of seeds that you really want to, regardless of the element at that point, because like the phases are also important. Anywho, so also on the flip end of this, when it comes to the new moon, it's a great time for trance work, any form of like astral travel or dream work that you want to work on. If you're into like trying to remote view, or if you're into anything that's like anything dream related, it's a great time to do during the new moon. Transformation, bring magnetism into your life, magnetize things, and banishing negativity. So any type of negativity that has been hindering you or holding you down, now's a good time to just like with that. So yeah, that's the new moon. So let's go to the first quarter moon. So the first quarter moon, which is the crescent moon, is also known as like the gibbous phase of the moon, right? With that being said, this is the time for you to increase the manifestation that you and expand on that vision that you had from the previous new moon, right? So this is the time to build, create, plan, modify your plans, take on new info, nurture the seeds from the new moon that you just put down, follow your ideas, build, create, and move towards better solutions, right? Because this is a good time to solve. This is a good time to understand and modify what it is that you wanted from the new moon. So the new moon is just about putting it up. The next quarter moon is about you bringing that on, and that's a waxing moon. So waxing is when the moon grows, right? So grows from our perspective, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so definitely keep that in mind because the first quarter moon is like the editing phase, right? the new moon is the rough draft. The quarter moon is the editing phase, and then we're gonna go over to the half moon, right? And so the half moon is the continued increase and expansion from that first quarter moon. But you have to start the first quarter moon if you want it to like really, really work, right? This is the time, like I said, you modify. You modify because you're bringing this over into the final stage. So like, best way to put it, the new moon is the rough draft. The first quarter gibbous phase moon is the draft that you give to a close friend who's good at analyzing things, and they can just analyze it for you and like give you back notes. The half moon is when you get it and you have to send it out to like an editor, or you show it to like let's say the teacher, right? And the teacher gives you their feedback from what they're looking for and what you should be doing when it comes to that. I don't want my tea to get cold, but anyway, so yeah, that's definitely just something to keep in mind. So those phases when the moon is waxing is when you grab and you take those ideas. So it's a good thing to write them down if you can. I generally don't, but because I'm just said it, I want to be able to like actually write it out. So hold me accountable if you think I don't, or like just hit me up and be like, are you writing things down? I would appreciate that because I really sometimes I forget. And that's the point. So so the full moon, right? The full moon is when all of these ideas and these drafts, this is like when you hand it in, right? This is when you hand in that to the universe, so to speak, right? It's a time for culmination. This is when you complete those projects. This is when you harvest. But once you put those out into the universe, you don't have control over it anymore. So however, whatever feedback, let's say the universe gives you from your initial work and drafts that you did, is however it gives it to you. And you kind of just have to like bear it on the chin, which is why during the full moon, everything gets all like, can get wacky, depending on if you know what's going on or not. If you don't know what signs are going on during a full moon or what full moon it is, I guarantee you will not know what's happening. Make sure you know what full moon signs are going down. Please. Please. Like, that's going to help you so much. But the key phrases of this, right? So it's the full moon's about sensitivity. It's a good time for romance, heightened emotions, sexuality, fertility for those who need that. For those who don't need that, avoid it at all costs. It's a time for full bloom. Sometimes it can get stressed because it's such an intense energy, but think about it like this. Everyone at the full moon just put out their papers to the universe, and the universe is grading them. That's the best way to put it. It's grading them and seeing how they're going to be implemented in your life. So, next thing is, oh yeah, this is also a good time. The new moon and the full moon are good times for any form of like astral travel or dream work, or definitely do some type of meditations on these time frames. It will definitely help even further along into those 2 weeks. So like every 2 weeks, if you don't meditate at least in those 2 weeks at some point. I'll make a video of meditation at some point. Not yet. I need to get better at it personally for myself before I speak on it, but that's enough. I digress. Anyway, so now we're going to go into the last quarter moon. And yeah, the last quarter moon pretty much. So this is when the moon starts to wane and it goes away until the new moon starts again, and then it comes back, right? So with that being said, the last quarter moon is a time to tie up any loose ends that you have from these manifestations, right? It's definitely a time to tie up loose ends, because I just got caught up on saying that. So definitely tie up any loose ends. Resolve any old issues that you may have had before the next moon. Now, after the full moon, there's a lower energy when it comes to kind of everything. Everything's, in a sense, slows down. But the low energy happens because it just came from you. So you just handed in your papers to the universe, right? Universe grades them, and now you have the grade, but that's your grade, right? And you already passed. You were done with that course. You're done with that course until the new moon. So then you're just like, oh, okay. Now you don't have to work as much, so to speak. But this is also the time for you to create the final outcome. This sometimes can be a time where you start to stress out what just went down from the full moon and what you manifested. But breathe. Breathing is important. This is when you have a more conscious movement towards what your goals are to begin with. This is a time for clearing, releasing. But it's also a time for reaping what you have sown. And that's important. So it's like there's less energy that you're pushing out, but it's time for you to reap all the things that you have created, and you can just take it on for yourself. Now, this is also a time where you prepare for the rebirth of you, in a sense. It's a rebirth of the next phases. It's the rebirth of the next moon opposition and moon conjunction. So it's definitely something to look out for. And it's the same thing when it goes into the waning crescent moon. So once the moon wanes, it's pretty much all about figuring out the final outcome from beforehand, to conscious movement, clearing, releasing, and it's time for you to reap what you've sown. Till the new moon, which, if you go back, is the start of it again. And that's the cycle of the moon. It's about a 28-day cycle. For the woman watching it, or watching this video, I apologize. For the woman watching this video, this is also signifies what your menstrual cycle is supposed to match to, in a way, because it's supposed to be like a 28-day cycle, and the 28-day cycle is the moon cycle, which is ironic The moon being the feminine, the divine feminine in a lot of ways, but also who you are. You know, it's I can get into that in more videos, but definitely just something to keep in mind. And so the one last thing I want to talk about, at any time when it comes to any moon phase, just about, but this is when you pay attention to the elements again, right? But in any moon phase, it is a good time for you to do rituals for attraction, for manifestation, for magnetizing things to come to you, such as money, time for healing, and also, well, just for like finding things that you can't find, except for the last phases. But the earlier phases, if you wanted to like refine something, that's a good time for it. Rituals for that, at least, or meditations, or writing down your intentions, whatever the case is, whatever you do. Everyone's different. But yeah. Also, the moon is connected to the sacral chakra, if you care. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was fun to like really break down the moon, because the moon's so important in astrology and in our lives. Because think about it, that's the one thing out that's at night besides other stars, but that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother time. Anyway, hope you liked this video. If anyone wanted to get any services, my services are down below. Like, comment, etc. Experiences, events. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell, because I've been noticing YouTube isn't sending out notifications unless you have the bell hit. I've been missing certain lives from people, and I think it's because of just the topic that's at hand, and with the, it's another story. But anyway, my services are down below in the description on the website. If you haven't heard Sweet Cosmic Valentine, it's a great background yoga meditation type EP that I put out. That was based off of Valentine's Day, but it's for any time of year, to be honest. And I'm gonna stop talking now, and I'm gonna have y'all enjoy your day. So, bet. Peace out. This has been Maverick with another video. Full moon just passed. Live out your dreams, but make the dream real to you. Bet. Peace.